In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you details of a dividend paying gold stock currently up over 106% on the year and also trading just above the $19 mark. And for MMTLP, we have a significant update with regards to FINRA, and also we're going to be looking at a $6,000 sell order gone through. So before we look at the details of that, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, from Market Watch, we can see the stock market today. The Dow Jones is poised for a back-to-back gain. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ are also heading for fresh hopes of a Fed rate cut. There was a news also with regard to earnings, and core weave shares did go down, and we did look at that in the Discord as well. So from Wall Street Journal, we can see news with regard to the latest IPO, ticker symbol BLSH, also known as bullish, and the stock market debut will be a big test for the IPO, and I think it did go very, very significantly upon the trading, and it was also halted. From Yahoo Finance, we can see that Trump is basically now starting a search for Powell, replacing him, and he's now down to 3 or 4 potential candidates from a choice of about approximately 11. So in terms of stock news, what I'd like to share with you is one of my investments shared live in the Discord and also shared live on Savage Trader. Link in the description, and this is where I invested in United Health, ticker symbol UNH, and I did call the bottom, and I caught this just above the $238 mark, currently up over 10%, and now in much better momentum. And there is also news here from Barclays that we can see that UNH has filed for a 26% increase in the ACA rates for next year. Compared to that to Oscar, they've asked for a 21% increase, so I do expect a strong bounce back in these kind of stocks for the coming time period. Shout out to one of my earliest videos where I covered AMD as one of the best AI stocks to invest in. I'm pleased to say it crossed over the $180 mark, so congratulations to everybody who got in that. And now let's have a look at some of the stocks that we shared in the top ranked Discord trading channel, and this is where we share top ranked stocks, many of them doing exceptionally well and at good buys, and the one at the bottom is the one that we're going to look at, which is the gold stock. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share details of the Trading Secrets Discord. This includes daily stock alerts shared in the pre-market, the weekly watches shared prior to trading on the Monday, the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. So we also have had some tremendous calls in the weekly watch list, as well as the daily stock alerts, and these include LEAES up over 152% on the week, DOMH up over 210% on the week, IGTI up over 77% on the week, and many more. We have a new channel called Top Ranked Stocks DD, and this includes PDF reports which you can download and use for research and due diligence. Obviously you can join us in live trading chat as well. We've just had a $2,000 Discord update which includes breaking news for stocks, including bio stocks, earnings, analyst ratings, Reddit news, why the stock is moving, and much more. And as well as that, you can join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we look at compound return investing and 201 trades. And just a reminder of the power of compounding: if you have 1 cent, you double that for 30 days, you would have over $5 million, but we are using a strategy of just a 3.5% return. Let's have a look at the dividend paying gold stock, up over 106% in 2025 and trading just above the $19 mark, and also announced a recent dividend to the shareholders. This is a ticker symbol KGC, also known as Kinross Gold Corporation. So let's have a look at a company profile. So together with the subsidiaries, this is a company that engages in the acquisition, exploration and development of gold properties, principally in the US, Brazil, Chile, Canada and Mauritania, and also headquartered in Canada. So let's have a look at the chart for the previous 5 days. It's currently up over 5.62%. It has a market cap of just in excess of 23 billion, revenue just in excess of 6 billion, and net income, i.e. profit making, just in excess of 1.53 billion. So analysts have rated this as a strong buy, and earnings recently is going to be announced, was announced July the 30th, which we're going to look at. So let's now have a look at the chart for the previous month, up over 20% 23.34%, so very, very healthy there. And for 2025, it's up over 106%. So early on in the year, there was a chance to get this just below the $10 mark, and I think there is still potential in this. So we did call out some news live in the Discord on this, as well as news in terms of the IPO, which was up over 143% bullish. Ticker symbol BLSH. However, at the bottom, we've also shared news of an institutional buy in Kinross Gold Corporation, and we have added that stock to our DD channel, where there are more than 30 due diligence reports. So let's have a look at another reason why I am bullish on Kinross Gold. And that is news from Seeking Alpha with regard to this company being a healthy and undervalued acquisition target potentially for companies like NEM. So this is news from July 2025. It's potentially undervalued. It has strong financial performance. It has a strong free cash flow, a very, very healthy balance sheet, and it's now able to afford to pay dividends. So let's have a look at the quick highlights of the second quarter 2025 financial earnings. So operating cash flow, $992.4 million. Attributable free cash flow, this was a record $646.6 million. Margins are very healthy, 68% on the gold, and that is also in terms of reported earnings, i.e. profit, just in excess of $530.7 million, and earnings per share at 43 cents. So very, very healthy there. They're on track to meet annual guidance, and they currently have cash and cash equivalents just in excess of $1.1 billion and total liquidity in excess of $2.8 billion. So a very, very cash rich business. So we have a look at the income statement from 2020 to the current period, and we can see here from 2022 the growth in the revenue, 32%, 22%, 21%, and recently 34%, when we know that gold is going through a very, very bullish phase. And operating income at the bottom there, from 2024 December, it went up very, very close to 2xing to just in excess of $2.2 billion. So if we have a look at the balance sheet, again, we can see the turnaround in 2024, where cash growth was 71% and right now 132%, and total current assets in excess of $2.7 billion. If we look at the liabilities, we can see here 9.66, just in excess of 966 million in terms of liabilities. And now if we have a look at an AI overview in terms of potentially having a look at this as a potential investment, the bullish factors are certainly there is strong financial health. They have a record free cash flow, low debt, sustainable dividends, promising pipeline, and they are rated as a #1 ranked stock as a buy. Potential bearish factors include potential earnings declines, insider selling, which has not yet happened, and operational risks. So what's the conclusion? As far as I'm concerned, there's a strong investment case for the Kinross Gold, especially for those seeking exposure to gold mining sector. They have a very, very strong financial base, low cost operation, promising development projects, and a favorable gold environment, as well as analyst optimism. So risks are obviously declining earnings, because we are seeing exceptional earnings, insider selling, and operational challenges. As far as your investors are concerned, keep an eye out on gold trends. Look at their Q3 2025 earnings. The date for your diary there, especially for further catalysts, is November the 4th, 2025. So this is a stock certainly that I am also watching, and I think if there is any pullback, I will also be looking to make an investment in KGC. Let's have a look at the latest developments for MMTLP. So the first shout out here is to Junk Savvy, who's posted with regard to FINRA, and there has been a FINRA response, and they have filed a motion to quash the subpoena in the Metamaterials case in Nevada with regard to the bankruptcy proceeding, and the motion has been filed in the United States District Court, District of Columbia, and the motion is assigned to Judge Lauren Ali Khan. And in what FINRA has stated is the first and second short squeeze in the SEC enforcement actions against the CEOs currently being adjudicated in the Texas District Court. So they are claiming that the subpoenas must be quashed because they are unduly burdensome to them. In other words, they're a little bit of a problem for them that they don't want to deal with. They seek privilege and confidential information. Well, I don't see why that's an issue, especially if they can black out anything confidential. And they're also saying they would impose significant expenses on FINRA. I'm sure FINRA are a very, very cash-rich company. So let's have a look at details of the filing. If we have a look at here, here. In the United States District of Columbia, highlighted in yellow, we can see here confirmation. FINRA have stated that it will be an undue burden and significant expense. FINRA seeks protective order precluding the discovery or otherwise limiting the scope of the discovery. So one thing I think I can safely say is that FINRA are spending potentially millions and millions of dollars in this, just so they don't have to carry out burdensome tasks. So I wonder why. What Michael has stated here, FINRA have just filed a motion in the bankruptcy case to block any subpoena with regard to trading data. So they are obviously viewing this trading data as something extremely important and potentially something that might expose something huge, and they don't want to do that. So obviously, if there is a victory, it could set a national precedent, international precedent, maybe even as far as trading is concerned. FINRA could never be forced to hand over any raw material in bankruptcy or fraud investigations, and that kills the ability for any retail community, especially in some of those stocks identifying by there. So they're claiming any information is irrelevant, and if that's the case, well, why don't they let the court and the judge decide that? So response here from X-Market News has stated that FINRA have argued that the subpoenas would be burdensome and it would require more than 23.5 million trade records. I'm sure there are ways to get that, and Sam Draddy would certainly know. Let's move on to have a look at news and following up from the previous video, especially with regard to the sell limit orders. What Champion NBH has stated, he would like to know who the individuals at E-Trade were who TLTC were listed at $999.99, and also one for $200,000 and others in excess for $20,000. He believes there may be a connection to the ones who halted. So obviously that's another question that we are dealing with. And he goes on to say, note the 5,000 order that was too late to cancel as it was confirmed. So again, what we can see there is a screenshot stating that. And finally, shout out here to Jeff Pittman, who stated here he's downloaded all the documents from the motion to quash, and he has a Google filing on it, and his response to this we can see in the second half in terms of what you can potentially do as an MMTLP shareholder. Remember, not legal advice, and he's not a lawyer. Contact the trustees directly by email, information in his post. Express your support for denying the motion. Mention you're an MMTLP shareholder and intervene. Take any direct action that you can, but obviously make your voice heard. And finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.